Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome back to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And in this case, we're talking about the power of golf to transform lives. That's why we're excited to have with us Andy Mears, Regional Director of West Tennessee with the Tennessee Golf Foundation, overseeing First Tee Tennessee in Memphis. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jeremy. Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And I'll also wanted to say real quick, what a great golf outing you had and hosted over at TPC Southwind. Had a great time.
Well, hey, golf is near and dear to your heart. And when you talk about First Tee Tennessee and Memphis and all the good being done, let's go ahead and dive in. But let's start with a little bit of your background and what led you to the organization.
A great question. So I've been in the golf industry for a very long time, about 50 years now, and I've been with First Tee for 10 years. And I was the development director for the First Tee of Greater Chicago, and then moved down to Sarasota, Florida for the same position, spent 4.5 years there. And then one day I got a email from a good friend of mine, Jim West, who is the employment director for Kentucky and Tennessee. And he said, hey, they're looking for a new director of the First Tee for Memphis. And he said, I think this is something you should look at. And of course, I kind of joked back to him. I said, I'm not sure why Memphis would want a 63-year-old white guy coming to Memphis, just to be honest. And he said, no, Andy, he said, they need you. They need your expertise. So one thing led to another. I applied and got in touch first with the folks at Tennessee Golf Foundation. And Tennessee Golf Foundation runs the First Tee of Tennessee. So we have five regions in Tennessee. And then next came into Memphis and met with the advisory committee that supports First Tee Memphis. Had a great interview with them. And sure enough, late August of 2023, I landed here and couldn't be happier. I tell everybody that I talk to, I could not be happier than to be here in the Memphis area, helping the kids here in Memphis and doing what I do best, which is building things. And this chapter needed some reimagination, if you will, reinvigoration. I think I brought that to the table. This past year, we launched a brand new revised First Tee of Memphis. So we have the plan in place. We tested out our model, if you will, and I cannot wait for 2025 because I believe personally it's going to be our breakout year.
Talk about First Tee of Memphis overall, because it is using golf as the catalyst to transform lives. And just like with sport, when you talk about the things you learn that are life skills, discipline, focus, obviously then the hand-eye coordination and the athleticism and all those, the timing, but it's about character development. And so talk about the power and what you do with First Tee of Memphis.
First and foremost, we're a youth development organization. So we are teaching kids a game of a lifetime that hope they'll play and enjoy. But more importantly, we're helping them through their growing years. So we start out 4 to 6. We call them our little linksters and get them, just acclimated to the game. 7 to 17 is our age group for First Tee. Really, 9 to 12 is our core audience, if you will. That's the majority of our kids. But what we're trying to help them do is learn life skills, as you mentioned. So we take them through STEM, financial literacy, rules of golf, peer pressure, college prep, you name it. There's a lot of things that we do with the kids above and beyond just the game of golf. And we really encompass all this around our 9 core values. And some of those are sportsmanship, integrity, honesty, perseverance, which is my personal favorite. So these are the things that we are trying to instill in the kids each and every lesson. And then, for example, this winter, we're doing a whole winter series, which they've never done here, winter program. And we're going to do a lot of things that are golf and non-golf related to bring the kids together, keep them together, So for 4 months, they're not out of sight, out of mind on both ends, our end and their end. So for the first time, I'm really excited about our winter program.
You mentioned golf, life sport, and I look at golf as really a game changer, not only for what it can do personally, but professionally, because when you look at the sphere of influence it creates and business deals being done on a golf course, talk about the power of golf.
Yes. So if you don't, folks out there don't know, golf is a $70 billion industry. It employs millions of people nationwide and, of course, worldwide industry as well. So one of the things I do with the kids is we try to show them the opportunity that there is making golf a career. So we do a country club for a day where we take a group of kids out. They go through all the departments at the club and see that, there's 150 people that work at that club making a career in the golf industry, whether you're the chef or the golf professional or a grounds crew, doesn't matter. So kids don't realize that. A lot of golfers don't realize that. They go out and play golf. They never think about the back end and what happens behind the curtain. So we try to expose the kids to those opportunities. And my main mantra is always that we are trying to provide opportunity to kids to see the world maybe in a different light than they can every day. And if just a handful of them, I started in the golf industry when I was 13. I fell in love with the business of golf. I was a decent golfer, but I wasn't going to be a tour player. But I fell in love with the business of golf. And I want to show kids that, hey, you can love golf and make a career of it. So I think that's pretty special.
You mentioned bringing in some new ideas and obviously playing, when you look at the winter and the activities around that, that's a piece of this. But talk about some of the innovations, some of the new programs, some of the new ideas that are coming to First Tee in Memphis.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're doing is we set up to where we have 7-week sessions. So a child or a parent will sign up their child for, let's say, Wednesday nights. And for 7 weeks, they'll come Wednesday nights and get their lesson. So we do spring, summer 1, summer 2, and autumn. That's kind of our core season. Then we do golf camps, which they haven't done before. We have girls golf, which, helps girls to get comfortable with their own peer group. This winter, we're taking kids to the Pink Palace. We're going to take them to the Civil Rights Museum. So we're doing things that are innovative to have kids experience not only golf, but life and come together as a group to build friendships, build camaraderie, get the parents and the kids to trust us. And the more they get to know us, the more they're going to help us grow and get the word out about all these neat things that we're doing. So 2025, Jeremy, is a full schedule. I mean, we are jam-packed from this winter right on until next Thanksgiving, if you will. One of the main things that we have to do now that we've built the program and we're confident with the model that we've built, the two things that we must do, we must hire more coaches to help us then teach the kids as we grow that segment as well. So this winter, our big focus will be on more coaches and more participants coming in. That way, then we can have that breakout year. I don't want to outkick my coverage, if you will. So you can have all these kids, but if you don't have anybody to coach them, you're kind of stuck. So coaches are a really important, vital aspect of it. And one of the things we do is we actually pay our coaches. So we train them up and we actually pay them. I like people to feel like they have a little skin in the game and that they take it a little more seriously. Nothing against volunteers, but they can come and go rather quickly. Somebody who's paid coach is going to say, okay, I'm into this. I want to do this. So those are kind of the bookends, if you will, to the model that I've built. So if we can get coaches and participants to bookend the model that we have now, we're going to be off and running.
Talk about facilities.
Well, we have some big news coming. So we're very fortunate. All the credit in the world to the city of Memphis and the city golf department through the Recs department. The city golf is run by Mickey Barker. And Mickey and I are just tied at the hip with our whole perception of how we want to help juniors. And the city of Memphis is as well. They're trying to figure out how to keep kids, on the right side, doing good things and growing and being game changers in the community. So Mickey and I are working hard together, and the city of Memphis supports everything. Our current home is at Whitehaven. Links of Whitehaven is our current home, but in the near, not too distant future, we plan on moving to the Links of Audubon, which, as most people know in the golf world, has been completely renovated. It's fantastic, beautiful golf course, huge practice facility, and one day, maybe 2 to 3 years down the road here, we will have a brand new clubhouse there, and about a third of it will be the new home of the First Tee of Memphis, where we will have offices, we will have kids' classrooms, we'll have just areas that they can relax and sit and study. We'll have simulators for them, plus all the amenities that Audubon has to offer. I mean, what a showcase that is for the city of Memphis with the tennis facility and the botanical gardens and the art museum and that whole sector, plus the new renovated family park that's right there. I mean, it's a dream come true, and I am so excited to be a part of it and help to bring this to fruition and see us turn that key one day here and maybe through about 3 years and have just a beautiful place for the kids of Memphis, not only to learn golf, but learn those life skills and have a safe haven for themselves.
Yeah, and I think that's extremely exciting. And also, too, like you said, building some critical mass in that area when you look at Memphis Botanic Garden, Tennis Memphis, and Leftwich Tennis Center, and all the youth programming, and then to have the First Tee of Memphis right there as well, man, that's a game changer for the community and for the kids, obviously. So carry that into how can the community help? How can the community get involved?
Number one is they can certainly contact me. And my email address is Mears, Mears, at tngolf.org. Mears at tngolf.org. I'd love to hear from anyone directly, so I can guide them to how they want to participate and support us. Also, the website, firstteetennessee.org. Someone can go on there and fill out the form to become a coach. They can make a donation, which we certainly appreciate and need. So firstteetennessee.org is a great resource website for all First Tee. But again, contacting me directly, my door is always open. I'd love to hear from people.
Talk about the donation side of this in terms of how that really helps to underwrite your efforts. Because when you think about the youth and having scholarship opportunities and underwriting their ability to participate, that's a huge piece of the community support. And then also, too, when you talk about the vision of what you're building for the future, obviously having those dollars is monumental for being able to bring all that to life. So talk about the importance of the financial contributions.
Yeah, it's very important because First Tee, our policy is that we never say no. So if a family can't afford the fees, and our fees are very nominal to take part in First Tee, but if they cannot, all they have to do is sign up and they just click the button that they need a scholarship. We don't ask any questions. That's all they have to do is click the scholarship button and they're taken care of. Golf clubs. If kids need golf clubs, we have them. I want to put a shout out to Tour Edge out of Batavia, Illinois. Tour Edge is, one of the players in the golf industry, big on the senior tour. Tour Edge has just donated to us hundreds of golf clubs that I personally went up and loaded up into my car and brought down. So we're going to be able to build about 70 sets of golf clubs for kids. So these are the type of things that help. Money-wise always helps because we have to, pay our coaches. We have to pay for teaching equipment. Some facilities do, charge us to be there, which is fine. We pay for range balls and things like that. We also want to do special events for the kids where we might have food and beverage available. So things like that, the money's always important. And then, of course, with the Links of Audubon and the new clubhouse, we'll be looking to raise about $6 million to cover our share of that new clubhouse. So that capital campaign, which is really basically already begun, but if there's somebody out there who really would like to get involved in that end to help us, my gosh, that would be a godsend.
Yeah, and I think, for everyone who says, how do I help our youth, right? And so putting them on a positive trajectory, Man, that's exactly what this is. You're giving them positive outlets and opportunities for mentorship, for coaching, for learning this game of golf that can transform, themselves, their lives, their careers. And so I think that's such an easy way to pour in and make a difference, especially supporting our youth through First Tee of Memphis. And so carry that once again into website. Where do we go to learn more, to connect in?
Yes. So again, firsttennessee.org. And once you get to the home page, there's a drop-down box and you can select Memphis. But it's a great resource for you. And again, they can personally contact me at amears@tngolf.org, and I'd love to hear from you.
So once again, amears@tngolf.org. Easy place, obviously, to email. So Andy, thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Jeremy, I look forward to spending more time with you and getting very involved with everything that you're doing for the community.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.